we get, the more behind her we get. Is that the?
Yeah. That's what happens.
Yeah. Hello, chat room. How are you?
And yes.
And
they're all gone.
And
they all left. All two of them. Mother.
Okay, let's see here.
Jeff, what did you drink this morning?
Jeez, I want some of it.
What?
Huh?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee in my coffee mug.
Oh my God, so many things on this desk. Fun.
So this is what we're going to do during the show. We're going to watch Maria Johnson with all her electronic charger cables and chargers and everything else. By the way, don't throw those away because we might actually need to use some.
Look, I'm not throwing anything away. I just don't know why they have reproduced so Catholically in, like, I don't know. I have one iPhone and one iPad and one MacBook. I seem to have 4 of these little bricks. I have 2 of these just sitting on my desk right now, and there's one that's plugged into. Oh.
I'd say something, but I've got enough of Android ones of those, but they're all from different companies.
Oh,
Droid.
Gosh.
Droid. All right, I know that's not the same thing as Android, but okay. I have a feeling we're just going to kind of wing it again on this show. Okay. Which is normal.
Normal?
No pre-planning. No.
Oh, we're not going to. That was a fail last week. We're not going to try and be professional.
Oh, no. We're gonna do the 1 hour time thing. It's just that I don't know what we're going to talk about in all the segments. So it'll be a surprise. Okay, and I'm relying on you all to come up with a great topic to talk about because I'm
distracted because I'm cleaning my desk.
Put my finger up my nose.
Wow, we really sunk to a new low. If we're talking about fingers up noses, I gotta go.
Well, we're surprised you're here.
You know, sometimes
Steve just finds an excuse just to quit coming.
Right, probably because Jeff's going to talk about things like he's got his finger up his nose.
Production Network, leading the way.
I'm Skyping out. I can't. You guys keep skipping.
Yeah, I think it's probably something to do with mine because I'm hosting, and I was just talking to Father Corey. I'm getting 47 megabits per second down, and I'm getting 4 up.
Okay.
And that's great. So it's great bandwidth, but it doesn't seem to be helping with the Hangout. So I don't know if it's a Hangout. I don't know if it's my computer, which shouldn't have a problem either because it's got like the fastest chip that Mac makes for this MacBook.
That's pretty amazing. Let me just say, this show needs a prayer. Father, can we begin with a prayer?
Absolutely. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Holy
Spirit, we ask you to be with us as we engage in this time of fellowship and fun, that it may also be a time to spread your gospel, a time to bring your message of good news to the world. We ask you to be with each and every one of us here on the show and those who will watch it live and watch it on the recording. We ask this in your name, Lord Jesus. Amen.
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 Bless our hearts.
Spirit. Amen.
You know, I just want to say I'm really glad that Father Corey joined the show.
Yes.
Me
Isn't he
too.
precious? He's so precious.
I think that he's he's such a great priest, and it just makes me really happy to talk to Father Corey every Saturday morning.
Can I record that and send that to my parishioners?
Oh,
please.
You mentioned record.
Yeah, you totally can if you want. I will do special audio just for you, Father.
Father Corey's a great priest.
Play that for your congregation. I'd like to play something before I start the homily today.
I want you to remember this.
Yeah.
I know you guys are turning it into a joke, but I was sincere about that.
I do appreciate that.
We know you were.
You appreciate it. I hear my ringer. I better go mute my phone before it goes off in the middle of the show.
See, he's a mess too, ladies and gentlemen. The priest.
Hey, it's better than the cuckoo clock.
Hey.
I was going to tell him before he took his earbuds out that he needs to select the correct microphone. I don't think he has his microphone.
There we go.
Hey, I don't think you have check your microphone input selection.
Oh, am I on the wrong one?
So I don't.
I am.
You're on the wrong one, right?
Let's try that one.
Oh, that's much
wow.
better. Yeah.
Very good. Thank
Oh,
you.
nice.
I was.
Echo.
I wonder why it changed that. Well, when did I last use? I don't. I think Google just changed things for the sake of changing things.
Yeah, they blew away all my templated lower thirds, so it could have just been one of those situations.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
hey,
saw that
where's
too.
mine? Mine's gone too.
Yeah. So thanks, Google.
Yeah. Well, I don't even try. I don't even use it anymore because it's just.
There we go. That's weird. My lower third disappeared for a little bit there.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. I do know. Of course, the chat room's about 30 seconds behind. Probably more like a minute and a half. Anyway, she said that she did have suggestions in the show notes for things to talk about. So,
Oh.
just in case. But we don't need no suggestions.
I think we're interesting enough.
We think so. Okay. Let's see. Let's do this, huh? What do you think? Let me make sure I got everything set up just right. 244 on the 25th of October, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's do it.
This is SQPN, the StarQuest Production Network, leading the way.
You're listening to Catholic Weekend, episode number 244 for the week ending Saturday, October 25th, 2014. Good morning. I'm Jeff Nielsen in Roswell, Georgia.
I'm your captain.
Joining me today from Conyers, Georgia, is Why Are You Not Playing? It's Already a Train Wreck. Here we go. Maria Johnson.
Oh, hey there.
Hello.
I'm so happy to be here today.
And next we have from the fashionable Buckhead in Atlanta, Georgia, right next to the Cathedral of Christ the King, Sarah Fabulous.
Hello, everybody. It's Saturday, and it's such a beautiful day out.
It is. And from Malta, Montana, we have Father Corey Stika.
Good morning.
There's a rodeo in Montana.
There's one or two of those.
What's a hula ham?
We had to look that up once, didn't we? Now
It's
Yeah.
a restaurant. Isn't
I
it?
know. It's they're so big out there. They're throwing restaurants around.
Yeah. They say everything's bigger in Texas. Well, we're so big we can do that. So no, I thought it was the rope or something like that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, or horseshoes or something. I don't know.
Or shoes or something.
Yeah. Hey, all. I hope everybody had a great week. I missed you all. Can you tell me that you missed me?
We missed you too.
Oh,
I
thank
missed you so much, Jeff.
I know you did.
Oh, so.
Jeff, I was thinking about you. I flew Acme Air this week,
Oh, did
and it was but I was on a 717, so it wasn't a Jeff airplane. But I was thinking about you.
It was
It
close.
wasn't a Jeff airplane.
Yeah, super close.
A small version of.
I want to be removed by the Sky Marshal the day that I'm on his flight, and I sent him a note.
And then later,
imagine how
we'll all laugh
sketchy
about
that
it and say it was all just a big misunderstanding.
Can you imagine how totally sketchy that would be to the stewardess?
gosh.
Hey,
No, except it would be better if there were
Captain.
multiple of us on the plane and we
Oh, that
all
would be
started
funny.
passing notes.
So,
I think we would see you as we boarded, right? You're not one of those creepy people that hangs out inside the flight deck or
I try to stay
cockpit
away
or
from
whatever you're
passengers
supposed to
as
call it
much
these
as
days.
possible.
Do you bail before
No.
everyone's getting off the plane, or do
No,
you
and by
stand
the-
there and say hi?
By the way, our operations manual tells us we're supposed to stay there and say goodbye to everybody, and it's irritating to me because more and more and more of my peers are just bailing, as you say, and just leaving and not saying goodbye. And I'm thinking, did they change the manual? No, it's just people are, screw you, forget it. Can I say
Dude,
that on your
I
show?
flew that heinous airline that I don't like,
Yeah,
and they were out. They bolted.
Yeah.
but
They were
that's
so
becoming
gone.
more and more common at my company too, which
Really?
is just it's just disappointing to me because that's kind of part of our culture is just standing there to see the pilot and
I think it's so cool. I'm always like, hey, thanks.
Yeah,
Or,
exactly.
try to crack a joke, or like, hey, good landing there, buddy.
yeah, good landing.
Hey, thanks for not letting us fall out of the sky. Good one.
Right.
Yeah, well, you know what? There are. It's interesting. More and more people I'm noticing are not. They're not good with social skills, or maybe they're just like really super introverted and they don't like being in public and around people. But I can't tell you how many people just they come up. They don't even look at you in the eye. They don't even acknowledge you're standing there saying goodbye to them. And then
I wonder how much of it is extrovert and how much is just we live in a culture where everybody has got their face in an electronic screen,
Yep.
and I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to look at anybody. Just leave me alone.
I've been on the airplane for a couple hours. Must check in on the interwebs. What did I miss? God forbid I talk to another human being.
Right.
Well, I think that's pretty standard. But if you think about it, okay, so Jeff, you have to say goodbye to the people getting off the plane. Ideally, you greet them too.
Mhm.
Father, you certainly stand out at the door to say goodbye to everybody or to say hello or whatever it is, the greeting after Mass.
Try to.
I try to get to my classroom before class starts and greet my students as they come in, and I don't leave and close the door until the last one's out. Now, sometimes I want to kick them out because.
So basically, you're saying, like, what is wrong with us?
Well, I don't know. Sarah, you are actually interfacing electronically most of the time, aren't you?
Yeah, well, or over the phone. Most of my work life is email and phone calls. I mean, I do a lot of phone calls, but we set up the phone calls via email, and I know I fall kind of into when someone calls me and it's an unnecessary phone call, I get frustrated by that, and I know I shouldn't, but I do. It's like, why did you call me when we could have done this over email? But I think that's a symptom of I've already got enough phone calls in the day. Like, please don't add to that. Because as it is, I'm on average on the phone for 6 hours a day. And so those other 2 hours that I have is just like desperate catch up for email, and I just don't want to add in another needless 15 to 30 minute call that could have been handled over email.
Did you see that article that came out this week about millennials not answering voicemail or not even doing voicemail?
So I leave people voicemails, but that's because I tell jokes in my voicemails. But most of my friends don't listen. However, I know that they've been programmed to check mine because I usually have some choice words to say for them. So, but most of the time with certain friends, I know they don't check voicemail, so I call and don't even bother because I'm like, well, they'll see they have a missed call. They'll just call me back.
See, I almost prefer. I still prefer voicemail. Of course, then again, I'm one of these people where if I could do everything over email and text and things like that, there's a lot of times where I'd prefer to do that. Let's just get it done. I've got a question for you. You answer it. Life is good.
Yeah.
Wow, how old are you?
It's an efficiency thing, though.
Yeah,
I thought that
exactly.
was like a really young people thing. Well, you are a really young people thing. What am I
Yeah.
talking about?
I think so. Young people might not, but I think so.
No, I think it's an efficiency thing. I really just want to take care of stuff as soon as I possibly can. Like the end. Like, please, let's just crank. I have so much stuff on my plate. I just want to crank through, check those boxes of things to do list, and it has to be over IM or text or email. Like, so be it, because it'll take 3 minutes rather than. You have to be pleasant on the phone. Hi, how are you? Oh, how are the kids? Oh, what'd you do this weekend? Like, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to be social. I got friends for that.
Man.
Blah, blah, blah. I don't want to be social. And the best part is what followed. I have friends for that.
Real friends for that.
Well, that's what you guys are for, right?
There
Like,
you go.
Maria and I text message, and it's just that's what friends are for. Like, I just want work to be my work, and I don't necessarily want to have my lives overlap too much. It can cause some issues.
That's an interesting concept, though, because aren't people more and more plugged in all the time?
Mhm.
I mean, I could be working. I don't know how many hours a week I work, but I know that I work more than 40, and they're not at the office necessarily. Or whatever.
Well, I have to track my time, so I know exactly how much I work.
You're like a lawyer or something, huh?
Well, because I'm a consultant, all my
Billable
time
hours.
is billable hours, so yeah.
Fancy.
I know.
Admittedly, I realize that I've gotten so used to being online all the time. Because if I'm not here at home in front of my computer, I'm on my phone. And frankly, my phone has better internet access than my home does because it's a little bit faster. But it's just to actually always be online. That's where it's actually kind of nice here in Montana, where we get places where you have no cell coverage.
Nice.
I actually kind of like that once in a while. Oh, gee, my phone doesn't work. Oh, well.
Sweet.
I was sitting in the lobby lounge of a Hilton hotel in Miami, downtown, and at my own little table, and I'm looking around me, and there were some tables that had big groups of people, and they were actually having conversations and that kind of stuff. But I looked over here at this kind of sofa set up and another chair, and these three girls were just every single one of them were just like staring at their phones and doing stuff. They weren't talking to each other at all. And I'm thinking, yeah, our society really has changed. And then, of course, I went back to eating my appetizer, drinking my beer, and watching TV on my laptop. So I really can't be too critical.
But this week I was in Chicago, and I got in on Sunday and left on Thursday morning. And I did try, and I was running a training, so I was teaching a class of people Monday through Wednesday. And instead of during the breaks, sitting down on my computer and catching up, I tried to walk around the room and actually, try to talk to the people who were deep into their computers, so that my students, but it was nice because they really enjoyed me coming around, saying hi, talking to them a little bit, getting to know them, and they actually did take the time to look up from their chairs, like, oh, who is this person? What do you want from me?
Go up to, hey, look at that thing. Look at me.
We're still doing
Let's
that.
talk.
Yeah, but I'm trying something new where, I'm trying to be less into my device when meeting new people, because you never know who you're going to come across, and now I'm LinkedIn connected with a couple of these folks, and it's just good to get to know people. And I think, if you take it on a deeper level, that's what Christ calls us to do, is to get to know folks and look them in the eye and acknowledge their dignity, which I don't think that you can do from behind an iDevice.
Nope.
So I've been challenging myself lately to put my phone down, close my laptop, and engage in more social conversations with people. And after the training finished this week, I had several people come up to me and thank me for trying to get to know them. And that just to me was like because most of them were older. There's a lot of men that were, more like Jeff's age. But but it was nice. I could tell that they weren't expecting that from someone from my generation, and so it's really nice to kind of buck the trend, if you will, as well as just doing what we're called to do, which is to acknowledge the dignity in another by trying to get to know them and actually learn people's names. What a concept!
Absolutely. Gosh, I love that, Sarah. I was I went to Adoration yesterday, and I try to spend about an hour I give myself a holy hour once a week, usually on Friday because I work 4/10, so I work Monday through Thursday. Fridays I have off. It's usually a hectic day, running errands and stuff. But I've got this project going on that's requiring a lot of my time and concentration, and so I love going to my holy hour. And once I've done talking to Jesus, I just sit for a while, right? I pull out my laptop and I'm writing. Why not? I mean,
yeah.
I go to my parents' house and I'll sit in their living room and do stuff with them too. with them as opposed to running from them. So I'm sitting there writing, and here comes the guy who has known me for like 15 years. He's the handyman around the parish, and he comes in, and the lights were on because there was someone in there earlier that must have turned the light on in the chapel. But typically I sit in the dark because there's a lot of windows in there, and I'm not going to waste resources if I'm just sitting there praying. And of course my screen is backlit, so it's not a problem. The keyboard's backlit. So I'm sitting there writing this project, and he comes in and he looks at me and he goes, "I've never seen this." "You're working on a computer in church?" And I look at him and I said, "I have the breviary on my iPad, and I have a rosary on my phone, and actually I'm writing something about our faith here."
Mm-hmm.
And he comes over and he goes, "I'm going to look over your shoulder and see what you're doing on that computer." And I said,
you.
"I'm not playing Diablo in church."
Angry Birds.
You know? It makes me, it reminds me of the time that one of my favorite early adopters, Paul Camerata. Every time there was something new, this guy had it and loving it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that he was always talking about how his wife would get agitated with him because he would be following the mass on his phone.
Oh, yeah.
And the people in the pews would be judging him hard.
Yeah.
I really want to do that. Because I have the, all those apps and all that, and every time I go to mass, I'm like, I want to pull up the readings on my phone, but everyone's going to think I'm texting. But it's what I really want to do.
Yeah.
I want to be able to not just listen to them, but read while the lector's reading and pray at the same time. Because, seeing the text and hearing the text at the same time is just a double whammy, but I just feel judged.
Oh, I do it to annoy John because we get to mass early because he likes to we need to get the handicap parking, and there's like 3 in the front of the church, so we get there super early, and it's just enough time for a rosary. So I pray the rosary on my phone, and he just looks at me. He's like, really look at the old ladies looking at you. And I'm like, whatever, the priest has his iPhone that shines through his vestment sometimes, so leave me alone.
Hey, do you hear that music coming up in the background?
Break time?
It is break time. Our first break. We're doing this new fancy radio format kind of thing here. This thing. We're going to get used to it one of these days. Anyway, so it's time for us to talk about ways you can help out supporting SQPN. And let's see, what would be a good way to do that?
Send money.
That's a great way. Of course, praying and thinking about us and supporting us in other ways is great, but it's even better when you give us money.
Send money.
No, not just better. But anyway, there are different ways to do it. You could become a friend of SQPN, which means a certain amount that you pledge basically per month, or you can give us a one-time donation. And think of it as instead of going to Starbucks for your fancy coffee, just give that $4 or $5 fee to us per month, and you can sign up there easily on the website, Friends of SQPN. Just look for that on the SQPN.com website. Another really, really easy way to help us out is when you're doing your shopping, and this is that time of year now that we're starting to look at gift ideas and such for people. And if you like to shop on Amazon.com, which I really love doing, you can really help us out by heading to SQPN.com first, clicking on the Amazon link, doing your shopping, and then it doesn't cost you any more, but a small amount of that purchase actually doesn't go to Amazon, it goes to us, SQPN. And just a little bit, but it adds up, really does help us pay the bills. And then finally, of course, web hosting. Steve's not here with us today. He could vouch for Bluehost. He uses them as his personal web hosting provider for his WordPress blog. Father Roderick does as well, and they're very happy with the service that they get from Bluehost.com. So check that out as well. They're one of our partners. So thank you again for all of you who have been supporting us year after year. We do appreciate it. We love you. All right. And the music's still playing. Okay.
Was that cheesy enough? Yes. Hey, you always forget about me. I use Bluehost.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I do. You're a new Blue hoster, right?
Yes, and I bought a 3-year contract, so SQPN got a huge cut.
Awesome. Well, so tell us, is everything that everybody says it is? Is it easy to use and set up the WordPress blog and all that?
Oh my gosh, so easy to set up. And I was having some server issues where I had a lot of downtime, and so I contacted them, and they moved me to a different server, and I've had no problem. So it's great. Their customer service is amazing. I've worked with them both on chat, email, as well as phone call, and they're just so polite and good people.
Great. Well, there you go. Another great reason to use Bluehost. If you're using a different hosting company, you might want to consider switching over to them. And we do appreciate their support of sqpn.com. All right. Well, that's it. That's our first break. Now we're into our second segment. And I don't know if you wanted to follow up and wrap that thing up at all as far as the using electronic devices in the parish and such.
A proper radio show would just move on.
Well, I know, but we're not a proper radio show. We're a show that, talks about whatever. And
Yeah.
Come on, we forgot what we were talking about. You think our listeners remember? Come on.
That's true.
now.
Nobody's even listening to us right now.
Nobody's even listening to us.
So, Chicago this week was fun. I had Chicago-style pizza.
Nice.
Ooh.
We could talk about food.
Oh, that's always a good subject. All right. Do you like Chicago-style pizza?
Oh yeah, it's so tasty.
I'm a New York-style pizza person. I like the thinner crust.
Oh.
I like Ray's Pizza on the corner of any corner in New York when you have to fold the pizza so that the grease drips down your.
Oh.
That doesn't even sound good to me.
you have to. I always blot it with a napkin before I eat it.
You fold it over and you just let it drip a little bit.
Do you ever go to the original Ray's?
I haven't been to New York and.
I think that they all say that they're the original. I'm not sure which one it is.
Just like all the coffee shops say best cup of coffee.
Like the movie Elf.
Elf
Congratulations! The best cup of coffee in the world.
And all the guys are thinking like, you are nuts. Have you ever wanted to do what he did with the revolving door?
What do you mean want to do it? I've done it.
My hotel in Chicago had revolving doors, and it was really hard for me to be an adult about it. It's like, I just want to run through, boo, 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 but I didn't. But our meetings were in the Willis Tower, and so I kind of felt like a really cool person having meetings in such a famous office building.
Nice.
Ooh.
So, did you go up to the top floor and take in a view?
No, I had dinner with friends every night instead.
Oh, darn.
Better.
Yeah. On Tuesday night, I had dinner with Ashley Collins. Everybody remember Ashley?
Nice.
Yeah,
How's he doing?
Yeah, he's doing great. And then on Wednesday night, I had dinner with friends from college that I haven't seen in about 7 years.
Sweet.
It was
Oh,
amazing.
Chicago, you're right there.
Yeah, so just so much fun to see. We all lived near each other junior and senior year, so it was just really fun to see my friends. And we sat down to dinner, and it was like absolutely no time had passed at all. We were back at our old shenanigans.
You talk about the deep dish pizza, though. That was one of the great things about studying in the Chicago area was getting to go and get that pizza on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Which one's your favorite, Father?
Oh, boy. I think Lou Malnati's because, like, you get a sausage pizza and it's a patty.
Yeah.
Pizza is a sausage patty. So
Also,
every bite
I
is
think
sausage.
you might like Lou's because they do that buttery crust, and
Yes.
butter makes everything
Yes.
better.
And I thought that was bacon.
Butter and bacon. If you've got both, it's a bonus point.
I love buttered bacon. It's really good.
Yeah, just take bacon and slather some butter on it, you know.
Just actually, what you do is you take a stick of butter and you wrap it with bacon.
There you go.
I can't even say that with a straight face.
My heart just went bleh.
And then put it on a biscuit.
Oh, there you go.
A buttered
Or
biscuit.
a Ritz cracker, because they say everything's better on a Ritz.
On a rib.
They used to say that. hear that very much anymore.
Raise your hand if your heart stopped.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it.
Mine will anytime now.
Any minute. Any minute. Well, you know, in the South, a lot of people out in the country would just take the bacon fat and spread it on a biscuit, and that's it.
Mhm.
That's breakfast.
Yeah, you know, do you guys save your bacon fat in a can? And a lot of people cook with it. You know, the way that you can use lard instead of using like a Crisco or butter, they just scrape it out of the can. I can't bring myself to do that, but I've heard it's a thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
That's
I
Southern
remember my
cooking.
mother doing it. Yeah.
staple in Southern cooking.
Well,
Now,
I'm
I will cook stuff in
Southern,
the
but
bacon.
yeah, I just can't do it.
I just use it up while it's still fresh because I'll make bacon, and then that's where I'll fry the eggs and,
Oh yeah.
and make
Yeah.
the potatoes in it.
Sure, same day, but the people who pour it out and let it congeal and then use I don't know how I feel about that.
That's the way you make those great green beans and
That's right.
greens and stuff like that. You use a big
That's what
slab in
flavors the pot liquor when
That's
you
right.
make greens.
I do like pot liquor. By the way, for those who don't know, pot liquor is spelled with 2 K's.
Well, I was thinking QU. Oh.
No. It's what? Collard greens
And yeah, with
and
all kinds of stuff.
bacon grease and they
Yeah.
just and salt and then they use what like a broth or something and
Yeah,
salt.
they
And,
just-
Sometimes people put coffee in.
Cooks it.
And
No. What?
oh, maybe I'm thinking of red-eye gravy or something like that.
No. This stuff
Um,
it just cooks and cooks and cooks.
Now I want to come down south and eat.
Yeah. I
Father
love-
Corey, come anytime.
Yeah,
I'm sure that you could stay at not my house, but some of the other ones. And
How's that for an invitation?
We have the ecclesiastical room where my uncle the bishop stays. So it's
yeah, but I will take you out for libations.
You
And-
can stay here, Father. There's plenty of room here. Oh, what was this?
It's the most
Shut up!
wonderful
Shut up!
time
Right now!
Whoa. No.
Hang on.
with the
Enough
kids
of you.
jingle-belling
Let's listen to this for a
and
second.
everyone telling you be of good
It's the most
cheer.
wonderful time of the year. And what time of year am I talking about?
Halloween.
No. It's that time of year for our fundraiser at SQPN. Haha. You see what I did there?
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see what you, we just keep asking for more money.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point of this show.
I don't like the shameless money promotion. I want to keep talking about bacon fat.
Maybe you should leave for another couple months because our fundraiser starts, and we've been doing this for years and years and years, and it's been going on at various times during the past few years.
Please turn off the Christmas music.
Okay, I'll turn off the Christmas music. Darn it.
Well, you
Anyway.
know Christmas commercials are going to start on November 1st when the campaign starts, our fundraising campaign. So,
Yes. All Saints Day.
or even on Halloween. I actually saw 2 years ago. Time Hop told me today that 2 years ago I saw a Christmas commercial on this day. Please, you guys, come on. What happened? What happened to Halloween? What happened to Thanksgiving?
Okay. Are you finished so I can talk about our fundraiser?
No, we're done. We're moving past that.
We don't want to talk about that.
Just want you to let. We're going to talk a lot more about it next week because it's going to be our official first day of the SQPN fundraiser, and we need money to keep going.
I say that we make Father Roderick drink or eat some bacon fat.
Okay,
He's
but I don't think he'd want to right now. He's feeling a little under the weather today.
Oh.
He's caught some kind of a virus or something. A little touch of Ebola, I think.
Ebola.
Ebola.
Oh, there's a very special place for us.
Yes.
Let's listen to some Airmen of Note.
I love the airmen.
Me too. So how's this time playlist thing going, huh?
Did this just pop up?
Yeah.
You
I didn't-
tell me that we just wasted 15 minutes just not even saying anything.
Yes, that's what I'm telling
Wow.
you. Actually, it was less than that.
This is tragic.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that's good enough. Hey, we're trying to play the game here with this 1 hour show thing. And,
How's that working out?
Ah, not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, look, Sarah Boyle's in the chat room.
Sarah!
Corn in
Hello!
coconut oil and have a big mess of collards to
There you go.
Ooh.
I'm
I'm going to come over and have some of that. That sounds great.
Mm.
It's been a long time since I've seen Miss Sarah. I miss her. Okay. So enough of the music. I'll turn it down. So anyway, we'll talk more about our big fundraiser next week when we launch it on All Saints Day. So let me see. Let me turn. No, I can't do it because this thing is playing. So I'm going to have to wait. So let's move on, shall we, to our next segment. And I was going to play something that was going to bore everybody to tears. It was the cardinal in Washington, D.C., I believe, Cardinal Wuerl.
Yep.
He was interviewed and talking about this just ended family synod, or synod on the family, or whatever they're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
Extraordinary families in the synod. I don't know.
How many ways can we mess that up?
Extraordinary synods of, I don't know. You know that thing they're doing over there at the Vatican, at the big V house, and the it's just a thing, you know. But anyway, there was a little bit of, well, you know, the media wanted to, you know, try to make it controversial and provocative and everything else, and he was basically saying there were some things that were published in that intermediate documentation that they put out there, and he said, yeah, you know, some of that stuff, like gradualism and stuff that we're probably not going to talk about on the show because it's going to bore everybody to death, was something that was mentioned, but it wasn't something that had a consensus or anybody really took that seriously. So in the final document, you see that's why it's not mentioned in the final. And they said most of the things that they have in their final document that they're going to use now as a working document and working up into what is it, October of next year?
Yeah, because the saga is going to continue next year.
Yeah, and you know, so when you read the actual document they ended up with, it more represents what they thought were the areas of emphasis for this, you know, the real deal that comes up in October of next year. So anyway, that's what he basically said in a much more eloquent way than I just did, but he took a lot longer doing it.
What's funny to me is the media made such a big deal out of this. I mean, they were promoting it, and the church is going to change all its teachings because of this, and it was a meeting to plan a meeting.
Yeah.
That's all it was. I mean, it was a 2-week meeting to plan what they're going to talk about at the main meeting, which is next year.
Mm-hmm.
The Extraordinary Synod planned the Ordinary Synod. And they were going to change all the church teachings, and no.
Yeah, I was expecting, you know, doctrinal
goodness.
changes and everything else, you know. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of the media out there, the secular media, was expecting.
Oh, there were people, you know, you read the news reports and whatever, I think they were sincerely sure that the church was going to recognize gay so-called marriage. They were going to recognize those who were, you know, divorce was going to be fine, contraception was going to be fine, and of course, none of that's going to happen.
No. All I can say about that is, no, I'm just kidding. You know what I would like to play and kind of talk about something much more serious than this Extraordinary Synod.
Oh boy.
Do you recognize this, Maria?
I do.
I love this show.
Well,
I don't
not this one. Just keep listening.
Oh no!
Again, they're funny, mysterious and funny. They're all together corny, the Catholic Week and Coots. Their podcasts are must tune in, where people come to hear 'em. They really are a scream, the Catholic Week and Kooks.
Sweet.
Petite.
Geeks. Freaks. Catholics.
So run and get your earbuds and find us in your iTunes. We're gonna pay a call on the Catholic Week and Kooks.
That was, my dear friends, I think
you'll recognize that music from the
Oh.
show The
Hey,
Addams
stop
Family.
talking.
That was composed by Vic Mizzy, who just died about a week and a half ago.
No, that was
at the age of 93.
a week and a half ago, a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago.
Okay.
When
Jeff?
you did that, is that the same time that Billy Newton came out with the dance? He put your heads on the dancing, or who put
No.
your heads on the dancing people?
No, this is years before Billy did that.
What was that? The Dancing Elves, or whatever.
Except that it was the Halloween version.
Yeah, what are they called? Something
I
Jam.
did that.
Oh, you
yeah.
did that.
I
Sorry.
did that.
So
Because
that
Steve Nelson, who's not here, was ticked off that because he's so tall, he had to be Frankenstein.
Father Roderick was in there as well. I think he was Einstein or something. I don't know. But
For the doctor.
that was okay. That was back in 2000. Yeah, we started Catholic Weekend in 2009, and I think that this was one of the first. I think it was in that year, the fall of 2009, right before Halloween. And so Maria and I kind of cooked up this idea to come up with something fun like that, and she did all the lyrics, and I did all the music and singing. And,
Because you certainly wouldn't want me to do any of the singing.
that is absolutely true.
We sang something one year, and I told you, okay, I did it, I hate it, and you came back with, man, you are so flat, and that was it.
And I was
Wow.
talking about
Wow.
intonation, by the way.
Uh-huh.
So, obviously. But anyway, so I just thought the reason why I played that is because in just a few days, on Friday, exactly, is All Hallows Eve, otherwise known as Halloween, and
Best night of the year to go out to dinner.
because nobody's there.
Yes. So I'm going out to dinner with some girlfriends.
Cool. So yeah, any discussion about Halloween coming up here, the eve of All Saints Day, since that's this week?
I'm reading at the All Saints Vigil Mass.
Oh, neat.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't really do Halloween. I think.
Are you going to dress up in a
lame.
costume for the reading?
Absolutely not. I don't like Halloween. I don't dress up. I stopped. I decided when I was about 9 years old that I was done with Halloween.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
You're such a grown-up.
In college, I went to a Halloween party just dressed in my normal clothes, and someone asked me, "What are you?" And I said, "Hot."
And they turned on the AC for you.
Except it was not needed at this time of year in South Bend, Indiana.
Probably not. Probably not. That's funny. We have a talking Frankenstein mask that I torment the dog with, so that's my.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really enjoy Halloween either because it means having to get up and go to the door like several times every minute.
Oh, you're such a curmudgeon. Really?
I am. Well, see, I used to be my job to take the kids out, around the block or the blocks, the neighborhood, and yeah, I don't have to do that anymore because I don't have any kids that are going trick-or-treating anymore.
That you know of.
No.
That I know. They may actually be out there, but I don't know who they are.
When we moved up here to this neighborhood in the suburb of Atlanta, I swear I thought that we had moved into some time warp, and it was like Leave It to Beaverville. And on Halloween, my kids were small, they got dressed up, and we were going to go out, and just then a mob showed up at the door with all the neighborhood kids and all the moms in tow, and they were like, "Come with us!" And it was really fun. And then I saw what the real thing was. One of the moms had a box of wine under her arm.
Genius.
Oh, those Halloween spirits.
There you go.
No, here's what. Yeah, here's what you should do.
We
Jeff,
had the best time.
No, Jeff, here's what you should do. You should sit at your front door and greet people being very nice, but get a box of wine for the parents and
That's it.
top them off, and
That's
then give a candy to the kiddos. And so then you can be much more pleasant and just pretend like you're greeting your people as they're getting off the airplane.
Yeah.
You'll make more friends.
Okay, I'll do that.
That's what you should do. You should serve beer or get a box of wine. There's some really good boxed wines now. The Boda wine is pretty good. So, and it's not very expensive, and you could just be very neighborly.
I think that's a plan. Can I take that idea? I think I might do that.
That's what I should do. I should grab some of my homebrew beer and just sit out there and wait for parents to come by.
Hey, how's your passport thing going? I saw that you posted a picture.
It's going well. Yesterday, Thursday evening and yesterday, I was down in Billings because I had a meeting down there, which the meeting was good. It was interesting, but it was a meeting. It was still, okay. But I took the opportunity to go hit a couple of the breweries in Billings. Billings is a town of about 100,000 people, and there are 7 craft breweries in Billings. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I had the opportunity to go take a couple of them, and it was beautiful. It was 71 degrees outside. So at the first brewery I hit, I went sat on the patio and I got a picture of the beer and that little passport, and I got a few stamps in there. So it's fun. It's fun to be able to do.
Well, tell us about your home brewing. How long have you been brewing?
I think since about the beginning of the year. So I'm still pretty amateur at it, and enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to produce the beers and try them, and what works, what doesn't. Got a couple stacked up because one of the northern brewer I know, Sarah knows them. They had a big sale for Columbus Day, so picked up a bunch of kits at that point. Got to get them while you can, while they're cheaper. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Who eats kits anymore? Write your own recipes.
I'm working on it. Actually,
are you doing all grain, Sarah?
Dude, I've always been doing all grain.
No, I'm mashing.
Blueberries are still in my freezer.
You're actually mashing?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Golly, nice. What kind of brewer do you think I am?
Well, I want to say.
Well, hey, you need to come over for brew days sometime, Jeff. You and Maria. We need to make a Catholic weekend beer. Oh, my God.
Oh, how fun. Let's do it. Father Corey, come on.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on. You can stay in the ecclesiastical room.
You can use one of my buddy passes and maybe have a chance to get on the airplane.
Yeah.
This right now.
Perfect.
This time of year is a perfect time because my last trip, I had several flights that were less than half full.
Flying out of Billings, though, they always seem to be crowded. It doesn't matter what time of year I've flown out of Billings, except first class, but that's then when they mark first class down to like nothing, Well,
maybe you could drive then.
Yeah, drive.
How long will that take?
Swing down and pick up Steve.
Yeah, perfect.
It'll only take like 3 days, not too much.
He's a road warrior, though.
Take a week off.
He calls across.
Oh, well,
fun stuff.
Is it almost 15 minutes? I'm trying to get you.
I think that's just.
No, we still have a few more minutes.
Oh, well, how about this? How about a complete change of subject? But so I got invited yesterday to the new Google Inbox.
What's that?
Thing that came out. So Google came out with a new, I guess it's still in beta, a new way to use the Gmail. I think this is driven by that app box mail. Yeah, is that what it was?
Mailbox. Yep.
Yeah, mailbox. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So one of my friends invited me in last night. I've been playing with it, and it organizes your email in a better way. And you can also do things like slide for the email to pop back up for you and remind you later to answer it. It can also do it based on location. So you can slide the email, and maybe you're at the office and you say, when I get home, I'll respond to this, and it'll detect on your location services where you are. So it's pretty cool. I like it, and just giving it a shot, see if it helps me stay on top of some of my email.
Wow. Is it only for your mobile device, or does it work also?
No, it's also on desktop. You have to use Chrome to use it on desktop. But and if you want, you can request an invite at inbox.google.com, and you have to email an address. But well, if I get any extra invitations, I'll let the panel know, and you guys can come.
So what I do is I already kind of do that method. I just look at my email via Gmail, and I just swipe everything and archive everything.
Right.
Inbox
I go to inbox. I go to inbox 0 like every day.
Yeah.
I love archiving mail on Gmail because I know that I'm not trashing it. I know it's still there. It's just I don't have to see it anymore. It just goes away and I just forget about it.
That's how I feel about voicemail.
Yeah.
Well, I've got that mailbox app and I use it. I really like it. I've got it both on my Mac and on my phone. But of course, it pops up the thing. Let me help you get to inbox 0. I'll do that eventually.
No, seriously, I look through every day, and I get a lot of. I'm sure you all get a lot of email, and I do too. And I have several different accounts, and I'll go through and I'll just kind of scan everything through, and I go, all right, I don't think there's anything important there, and just select all and archive. Boom, goes. Gone.
Nice.
Oh, is that why you never reply to my emails?
That might be. Or I set up a filter for yours.
Or the one time that I sent Jeff an email to have him meet one of my friends via email, and he writes back, "I have no idea who you are," with my friend copied on it.
Oh, geez.
So embarrassing.
No, but I did that on purpose. That was a joke. I followed up immediately instead. I'm just kidding. I'm just kind of giving
I know,
Sarah
but it was so embarrassing.
You are such a jerk.
I get the email and I'm all like, "Oh my gosh, Ken's gonna think I'm an idiot."
Jeff is one of my favorite people in the whole universe.
So I'm sorry, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said, and I was so embarrassed. I texted his wife, and I was like, "Please tell Ken that I'm really sorry that my friend's a jerk."
But see, the thing is, you didn't see is that I immediately
Right, that you responded to him. Well, I was just worried that you were ignoring him, and I'm all like, "Oh gosh, what did I do?"
I should never have mentioned that.
That's hilarious.
So
Ha ha ha.
I like to have fun. And speaking of fun, in about 13 seconds we're
gonna be done.
And I'm not really sure what we're going to talk about during this musical interlude, but listen, do you hear that? I do. Coming up slowly in the background.
Our musical interlude.
This is Llewellyn's Leap by Alan Marchand.
Is this the one with my great saxophone?
I think so, yeah. Both of them have nice sax.
Man, I'm getting some heavy static now.
Are you?
Yeah. I think it's just me.
Okay. I don't hear it, but I can't hear it anyway because I'm an airplane pilot. So let's do this. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of it, but you may have noticed, like this show, we're starting to try to make the shows kind of conform to a broadcast standard. Well, not in quality, but in length of podcast. So that it will fit in with our new internet radio station, StarQuest Radio. If you haven't checked it out, you should, because it's a great way to listen to the content on SQPN, because it's just there all the time in the background. You just kind of tap into the stream, listen to perhaps a show that you've never heard before, or maybe never want to hear again. So anyway, we're kind of transitioning the whole SQPN produced shows to that kind of a format so that they'll fit better in with our StarQuest Radio presence. And then, of course, if we have folks around the world that want to use our programming in their own radio stations, terrestrial or internet or whatever, then it'll be easier to fit in like that. So this is kind of our transition month, this October, and we're kind of resetting everything, and we'll talk more about that when we start our fund drive in November. So that is what's going on at SQPN. And by the way, if you've never checked out some of the other great programming we have, you should. And you can do that by going over to sqpn.com, and you can see some of the, in the drop-down menu, some of the shows that we have. Father Roderick, of course, very popular shows, The Break and Geek Week. And then they also started this fantastic secrets program called The Secrets of Doctor Who. Father Corey is one of the guest hosts or co-hosts of the show, along with Jimmy Aiken and Dominic Bettinelli and let's see, Stephanie. I just want to say Angel Steph, but Stephanie Zimmer, and who else? Did I get everybody?
Father Roderick, of course.
Yeah. And so anyway, that's a great show to take a listen to. I think they've just started the Secrets of Once Upon a Time again, because is that back on again now?
Yes.
The show. All kinds of great pop culture programming, secret series. Check it all out at sqpn.com. And there we go. There is our last break before the end of the show, which of course means it might be a good time to play this. Thanks to Pat Gone up in the Boston area for doing that for us. Picks of the week. And I'm not going to go first because I don't have one.
Oh, I have a bunch. Can I go first?
Yes, please.
So I'm going to do, so you know that I do some writing for CatholicMom.com for our friend Lisa Hendy. Her book arrived. Let me
look at that.
Spectacular this cover is with the
Has
goldfish.
The contest, is the contest over?
They're voting. I think that it's the last day of voting today.
Okay.
And or maybe it was yesterday. Anyway, Myron didn't make the cut. I wanted the fish to be Myron. He didn't make the cut, but I voted for Barb's selection, which is Fiat, which of course means yes. So I hope that one is the one that wins. That's the one I voted for. Whatever. Anyway, I got her book for review, and it's just so beautifully embossed, and it's just a lovely book. If you don't have it yet, you need to order it, and it's released, I think, November 3rd. And Lisa promised that she would come on the show and talk about that. Then, number 2, and Father Corey, you commented on it, our good friend Lisa Mladnick, who was once a presenter for the CNMC, actually in Boston. She runs a fantastic website called Amazing Catechist, and I entered the contest to join her new revamped site and signed up for the newsletter, and I won the Pope's book, The Joy of the Gospel. Woohoo! Nice. So, woohoo for Lisa. Hi, Lisa, another Lisa. And check out AmazingCatechist.com. It's got wonderful resources there. But my real pick of the week, I feel like a commercial. Gosh. My real pick of the week is this cartoon movie. One of the things that I do at Catholic Mom is that I review books and movies. And this is a family, sort of. It's kind of like for older kids, cartoony thing. But just in time for Halloween. It's called Under Wraps, and it's an adventure about some kids whose parents turn into mummies and how they try to, go through unraveling that mess. So check it out. It's out by Arc Entertainment, and I'll probably have a review up on my blog following the show.
Excellent. And I'm looking through the chat room while you're speaking. And Mike always has some great little quips, and he said that he voted for Polycarp because he liked the pun. I do like that. Yeah, he's also been saying some really funny things.
He is hilarious.
Anyway, which is good to mention if you're listening to the show via the audio podcast only. You should, if you ever have a spare hour on Saturday morning, head over to sqpn.com catholicweekend.sqpn.com, and there you'll see the live video that we do every week, and you can hang out in the chat room with all these other great folks and have a blast. So check that out if you ever think about it on a Saturday morning.
Have any of them given you a pick of the week yet?
No, I didn't ask them to. So.
Did you see the tap dancing priests?
Yeah, I did. I think Lynn included that in the. Should I check that out?
Not really. Moving on.
All right. Well,
I don't know. Whatever you want to do, hon.
Well, wait a minute. Let's see what we got here. I mean, tap dancing. If you're just listening to the audio, I'm not sure. Oh, you're not going to hear this.
It just hit the Today Show, I think, or something. So it took off.
Yeah, it's kind of a low res video, and the audio's not so great. So yeah.
Okay, they're not tap dancing.
You have to get a couple minutes in. It's really a thing. Everyone should go enjoy it, but
Don't make it your pick of the week, you're saying. Okay.
So, yes, that's good for audio.
Okay, so much for that.
Yeah, so much for that. Okay, so let me turn this off. You guys don't hear it, but the people on the audio can. Okay, here we go. Now we're back. There's my pick of the week, a must-see tap dancing priests.
Oh.
Okay. There we go. Now I'm finished. Who wants to go next?
I have one. I have a pick of the week.
All right.
So, all of you guys know how much I love our priests. One of my favorite days of the year is Priesthood Sunday, and that is tomorrow, October 26th. So, just make sure that you thank your priest in a special way for his yes to the priesthood and for everything that he does throughout the whole entire year to serve the church. Even if it didn't do anything specific for you, they work so hard. So make sure that you thank your priest, offer to take him out to dinner, ask him if you want some homebrew supplies. But tomorrow is Priesthood Sunday, so please pray in a special way this week for your priests and get into a habit of praying for them because they desperately need our prayers.
Absolutely.
And so I just want to thank Father Corey for his vocation because before the show started, I kind of got all cheesy and I was, I'm really happy Father Corey joined the show, but I really am. Father Corey's a great guy and truly a blessing to consider him a friend. So thank you for your vocation, Father, and thanks for joining the show.
And how about a big round of applause for Father Corey? There you go.
Yay!
For those watching or listening on audio, I'm sitting here bowing profusely.
He's blushing a little bit. Yeah.
It's the lighting in here. It's not warm all of a sudden.
Yeah, it really is a blessing that we have Father Corey on our show, and it kind of gives just a slight amount of credibility to the.
It just feels right to have a priest on the panel.
It does.
It really does.
Yep. That it does. Okay. Father Corey, your pick?
Well, my pick is decidedly unpriestly, but I'm, of course, I make no bones about it. I'm a geek. I like stuff, and I'm a fan of Minecraft, and I'm a fan of Lego. Well, now you can get Minecraft Legos, and actually, there's a new set coming out. I've got a couple of the older sets where they're kind of a small world. So you can build these little worlds. Well, they've got newer sets coming out that are they're closer to real Lego, including the little minifig Steve, the little minifig character. This one is just you build a little character out of just Lego bricks, but that one is actual going to have minifigs where you can put the armor on and stuff like that. So I'm kind of looking forward to that because those are always a lot of fun, and of course Legos are always good. They're always fun.
Weird.
Absolutely.
Weird.
Get a geek.
Nerd.
You're right.
No, that is, somebody was talking about it on one of the tech shows I listened to, that how anybody could really get interested in a game like Minecraft, and it's just, and then somebody said, well, it's just like Legos when we were kids, we made things out of these really blocky, squared off, no rounded corners or, nowadays you get Legos with all that smooth stuff on it, but back in the old days, it was just squares, and I understand it. It's kind of cool to be able to create things, and Minecraft is a way that the kids are doing it. So, well, you hear the music coming up in the background, which means that we got everybody's pick of the week, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, okay, good. Sometimes I forget somebody, so. Let's see, Father Corey, you mentioned that you were one of the hosts on the Sports Fathers.
Yep. We recorded an episode on Monday, so Sports Fathers. It's thesportsfathers.com, I believe. It's I'm on Secrets of Doctor Who, as Jeff mentioned, and you can find me at Father Corey Stika on Facebook, Twitter, and so on, and frcorey.org for my homilies.
Very good, and great to have you with us again this week. And Miss Maria Johnson, your very active blog, Another Cup of Coffee, right?
Yeah, see me at begojohnson.com or follow me on Twitter at Bego. I'm on Facebook too, but not so much.
Okay. And Miss Sarah Vabulous is also the Catholic Drinky. And tell us about your digital presence.
You can find me on Twitter at Catholic Drinky or on Instagram. Mostly active on Twitter these days, but I was also on a radio show yesterday, so look for the podcast of that to come out the middle of this week.
Oh, what radio show?
It was a radio show in Texas called Everyday Catholics out of College Station with Father Ryan Higdon, who's a priest in Texas. So had about a 25-minute interview, and I think he said Wednesday the podcast is going to come out. So
excellent. Do they have any kind of connection with the Aggie Catholics, that blog?
No, that is run out of the Texas A&M college ministry office, but I'm sure they know each other.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay, very good. I am the airline pilot guy, and you can find it's a show about aviation, talk about aviation news with the emphasis on airline stuff, because that's what I do. And then I answer a bunch of questions from people. They have all kinds of questions about flying and layovers and life as an airline pilot and such. So, again, check that out at Airline Pilot Guy. Had a couple meetups since our last show. In fact, last Saturday afternoon, we met at PDK, a group of people, including Tom Brodell. I don't know if Tom's in the chat room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it kind of threw me off because I was expecting people in my Airline Pilot Guy community, and then I saw him and I went, wait a minute, something's not connecting here. And he goes, yeah, oh, okay. So anyway, it was great. We had a great time, didn't we, Tom? So anyway, that is it. So thanks for joining us this week on Catholic Weekend, and hope to see you again next week. And I hope you have a great Catholic weekend. Take care, and God bless. Keep talking because it's still going.
We should do a Catholic weekend meetup.
Yes, we should.
We should. We'll do that. We'll talk about it next time. Catholic Weekend. Paul?
SQPN, leading the way in Catholic new media.
That was terrible.
You were working on that, weren't you?
Cue Paul. All right.
Well done.
That's it. Excellent. And I remembered to start the clock this time and everything.
How's that light? Is it recording? Did it record?
Oh, shoot.
Oh, did it?
Actually, I'm using a brand new Zoom recorder because my H2 finally was really acting up a lot and I couldn't rely upon it. And so I went with the new Zoom H5.
Ooh, nice.
And I didn't even know they had such an animal. And yeah, look at Maria's.
Maria is bored already.
Really you know, Father Corey and I, this is the kind of stuff that we could really talk about a long time.
I want to get. I emailed Jeff or I texted Jeff. I want to get a new webcam because my MacBook Pro is from 2010, so it's not HD. So I want to get a new
the C920
webcam. Yeah.
Logitech C920 is the one to get.
Yeah, I was chatting with Father Daryl about it too. So we were trying to figure out what was good.
I'm using the C910. Of course, I don't know if my bandwidth is good enough for you to see, but it's pretty HD quality.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to get HD camera because I don't need a whole new computer. My computer's great, so but the camera part's driving me crazy.
Yeah, the built-in, especially the older MacBooks, the camera's not really great.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just slap one of these Logitech things on there, and it really improves things.
Nice.
I'm such a geek. I love gadgets.
Oh, me too. That's why I do podcasts. Really?
And Maria's sitting there going,
See, most people I think that do podcasts are more like into the creative and what they have to say and what they have to offer to the world, and not me. I'm just looking for an excuse to play with these toys.
I don't know why I podcast. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Honestly, whatever I can do to get more toys is really, at the end of the day, what I want.
Well, that's right. I keep trying to figure out some way to do like a video podcast, and the only reason is so I can play with the GoPro camera, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, why do you think I do an airline podcast? Because and Maria knows this. It's like everybody had a podcast back in, what was it, 2008, 2009, the San Antonio one, 2009.
Oh, and yeah, you didn't.
Yeah,
right?
and I basically, we were sitting at this table and we were getting a presentation from another organization, and so we kind of had our own little board meeting, and anybody have anything new? And I thought, yeah, I'm going to start a new podcast. So it's like everything is the Catholic family, Catholic in a small town, whatever. And so I said, I'm just going to call it Catholic Pilot. And I thought everybody would laugh, and then people would go, yeah, that's a good idea. I went, really? Because that's the only thing I know anything about,
It's actually, that's what you should be doing, what you know about. Right?
Yeah. So, yeah, it worked out. And then
I should do an education podcast.
Yeah. Right? Catholic educator.
Right. I think.
No, I don't think you have the time to do it.
No, I don't. I don't think I have the inclination.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I'm recording using the new H5, which is the bomb, and you know what's going to allow me to do for recording? Yeah, is that instead of taking a compact mixer with me on my trips, I can just use this H5 because I can use multiple tracks. It simultaneously records a stereo track and then 2 mono tracks if you want. So I basically eliminated my mixer for my mobile setup. So it also works as an interface with the iPad if you want to use like Boss Chunk Studio and that kind of thing. So pretty cool. It's my new toy.
Wow, that's all like a foreign language.
Yeah. Anyway, and by the way, the battery life on it's so much better than the H2 that I was using. Yeah, for 2 AA batteries goes for 15 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, very good. So, anywho,
5 Airline Pilot Guy episodes.
What's that?
Or 5 Airline Pilot Guy episodes.
Yeah, and then throw in some Catholic weekends in there, and I'll still be replacing batteries.
Oh, I don't know. It really could possibly just be one episode of Airline Pilot Guy.
Hey. You're right, though. I'm gonna try to wean it down.
No, you need to just.
It just takes too much
time. Leave it the way it is. So what? Some people listen to it in chunks.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Speaking of chunks, it is. We have a meeting to go to. Miss Marie and I do.
Mm-hmm. I got a funeral to get ready for.
Oh,
we got the priest thing today. So,
all right. Well,
I have a book to write.
Are you coming tomorrow,
girl?
Yes.
Are you almost finished with it?
Are you almost started?
Hey, shut up.
When is the deadline?
Can we go offline to talk about it?
So she can swear.
My publisher emailed me yesterday, so please go offline. Thank you.
Okay.
Really?
Well, hey, everybody, thanks for joining us today. We do appreciate it. It's time for us to leave now, and I'm going to stop the broadcast. So, again, good seeing you, Sarah, and everybody else in the chat room. Take care and have a great weekend. Bye.